So I'm just going to kind of start over, and actually this works better because I realized that it's backwards from what you guys were seeing it. So we took the circle, we folded it into fourths, okay? This is like the x-axis, this is like the y-axis, and we talk about how there's 360 degrees in a circle. So if we always start here, this is the starting line in quadrant 1, this is 0 degrees. If I were to then draw my second line right here, that would be 90 degrees. If I were to draw it here, that would be a straight line, or 180 degrees, right? If I were to go down like this, all the way around would be 270 degrees, and then all the way back around would be 360. So, but those aren't the only ones. You could have it's called the terminal ray here, and that would be 45 degrees. So what we're doing is we are going to be converting from degrees to radians, which is a trigonometry term. So you need to know how to do that. And we use the word radians all the time, and I want you to understand what a radian actually is. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this string and you're going to cut it the length from the center to the outside of your circle. That is the radius. The term radian comes from that, right? So this is your radius. So once you have that cut, what we're now going to do is find out how many of these radii, I guess, it takes to get all the way over to 180 degrees. We're going to figure out how many radians or radiuses or radii it takes to get halfway around the circle. So if I start at 0 degrees and I curve this around the edge to right here, that's 1 radian. And I'm going to draw, I'm just going to eyeball it in here, right? So this is 1 radian. I don't know how many degrees that is exactly. You could measure it if you wanted to, but it's really not important. So then I'm going to take my yarn where I left off and go all the way around again. So that is another radian. So that's a total of 2 radians. So again, I'm going to just kind of sketch that in there. So that's 2 radians. And then I'm going to do another one. I'm getting closer. And notice I get almost to the 180. I don't quite get there, and that's intentional. So if I sort of sketch that in there, that's 3 radians. Okay. Now this little space here obviously is much smaller than another radian. Just for the sake of argument, this little piece here, the measure of that is 0.14 radians. So the question is, how many radians are there to 180 degrees? 1, 2, 3.14. Well, what is that number, 3.14? Pi. So 180 degrees is also pi radians. Okay, so that is where this comes from on how we convert from degrees to radians. All right, so if you know that this is pi radians, you can pretty much figure out everything else. All right, now stay tuned for the second video where I'm actually going to go over the notes. All right, bye.